Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat, Nichelle and Dante, the dark jive. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. It's Pregame, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante, the Dark Knight, and welcome to the pregame show. Eagles Talk pregame. Our Philadelphia Eagles take on the Atlanta Falcons. Our Philadelphia Eagles are 1-0, taking on the 0-1 Atlanta Falcons. This is going to be a tough test anyhow because Atlanta is supposed to be improved. They didn't show it last week. They didn't, but they are now fighting for playoff survival. I looked at the numbers, saw the numbers on the first take, and doesn't look good for people that start out 0-2. So this is going to be a desperate, wounded animal coming in here to the link tonight, and we've got to take care of business, and I think that we can do so. We just have to handle that. But without further delay, what's up, Pat? Are you ready? It's game day, baby.
I'm ready, man.
They're retiring Nick Foles tonight. Nicky Foles is being retired tonight.
I'm ready. The fans are ready. They've been out there since 5 o'clock this morning. I was getting ready to go to work. They out there tailgating. So I was hyped at 5 o'clock this morning, Dark Knight. So I'm ready. I'm ready to get this thing going.
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine out there, a frat brother of mine, who tailgated today. I was so tempted to stop by. Did not. I'm here with you, but I know they are juiced up, and we need to get juiced up now. So for all of you guys, let's get in this playoff Monday night mood. Another primetime game, second game of the year, and a second primetime game. I'm so geek. Monday night. It's going to be a late night for me. We doing play-by-play, of course. You can watch the game with me. So get your menu ready, and then we'll discuss that and all that. And let's get this first quarter started, man. You are watching Eagles Talk pregame, the most unique Eagles coverage show around. That is by us fans. Us fans. We do this. Just fans. No broadcast journalists here. Just us fans for us fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. And don't forget, if you're an adult, you drink a beverage, that's an adult beverage. That doesn't have to be alcoholic and all that. I mean, but, we do have those that specialize in that. So we're going to do that. Pat, what are you partaking in today?
The same old. If it still works, you still go with it. So I'm on a Wilford Reserve.
Wilford Reserve. All right, you drank that last week, right?
Drank it last week.
All right, let's go over the rules now. Whatever you drank last week, you make sure that's what you're drinking this week. Don't be putting no mojo on the squad. If you had Wilford Reserve last week, you better have Wilford Reserve tonight, because we need this one. AJ Brown is out. We need this
exact bottle.
Okay, same exact bottle. All right, so here we go. And I'm doing, what did I do last week? I did the apple juice last week, and I'm doing the apple juice again. So here we go. Down the hatch to our Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get ready for this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was bad, Pat. I barely heard that. The soundboard hooked up? I didn't hear that. Yeah, that's muffled and everything. You guys let me know if that sounds muffled to you. Yeah, let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let me bring in our other co-hosts, and that's you guys that's in the chat room with us tonight. First person in the room, Daz Dante. First person in the room tonight. Hey, Eagles fan, let's get this win. Second person in the room is Rachel. Rachel says, hi, guys. What's up, Rachel? James Wall is third. He says, what's good, fam? And let me recognize the people on IG. Bill Kroll is in IG, joining us from IG tonight. Switching it up, huh, Bill? That's all right. I love that. He said, what's up, everyone? Unfortunately, I can't post IG's comments on the broadcast, but I can see you guys. So thank you guys for joining us on IG. That's what's up. John Batiste is in the house. South Cackalack is in the house. Said checking in on time this time. That's right. Might be the Dirty Birds, but we're the only birds. That's what's up. I hear you. Tina Holder, where you been at, Tina? I ain't seen you in a while. Jeff Cook is even here. Jeff Cook, oh my goodness. We got the whole gang coming out.
It's game time.
My goodness. That's what's up. That's what Monday Night Football will do. It'll bring out everybody. Everybody's coming out. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. We have a couple special things going on. Well, number one, we don't have AJ. We don't have AJ. We'll talk about that a little later. But number two is Nicky Foles' retirement night. Nick Foles, our savior for Super Bowl 52, the man that quarterbacked us to our only Super Bowl victory ever, is being retired tonight. He's going to retire as an Eagle, and there's going to be a little ceremony for that to happen. Now, I don't know. I can't call it. I'm about to say that I don't know if it's going to be as big as like Nicky being inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame or anything like that. But I do foresee that it's going to be special, right? It's Nick Foles, for heaven's sake.
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be special. It's going to be lit. It's going to be electric out there. It's going to be a lot of people that saying that he should go in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Listen, he did outstanding for us. He does not have to buy a beer in the city of Philadelphia whatsoever. This whole tri-state area doesn't need to buy a beer. Anytime he sit at a bar, his tab is already paid for. He has led us to glory with a lot of older Philadelphia Eagles fans didn't get the opportunity to see. So we appreciate him. We thank him, and he needs to get his due respect. And also, this Philadelphia Eagles team needs to go out there and dominate on this day for him.
I agree with that. We owe him everything. I mean, come on. How many years was it? 60-something years?
A lot.
We've been waiting a long time. Let's just put it that way. And some heartbreaks along the way. And Nicky Foles delivered the goods to us, a Super Bowl championship. So he'll be forever endeared in our hearts. And we're going to celebrate him tonight at Lincoln Financial. So I can't wait I don't even know. Will we even see that? Will they show that as we bring in Nichelle? You think they'll show that on TV, the Nicky Foles
I don't think
presentation?
So.
Probably not.
I don't think they will.
They're going to go because it's a Monday night game. So, hey, everybody.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to have to see it on the Eagles channels. Unfortunately, that's something you got to be there for.
Oh, wow. Well, we're going to salute him here on this show here. And so I had to wait till Nichelle got here to surprise her with this. But we have some footage. This is, and not only are we welcoming Nick Foles back, this will be Jason Kelce's debut to Philadelphia on the Monday night gig that he got. He's in town for that, so he'll be doing the pregame for that. And they even talked about he'll be doing a quarter of analysts on air. So we'll hear him on air also. But
I want to see his Jason Kelce interview with Hurts.
Yeah, Hurts interview. Yeah, Jason Kelce will be doing a Hurts interview also. But Jason Kelce, dear to our hearts, the lively all-time Eagle that he is. Let's see just how he prepares for game day in his new role.
They got me hype. I was like, get it, Jason.
So, look, is that the best job in the world? This is how he prepares for his new gig. It's a lot different than getting ready to play tonight at 8 o'clock.
He would be moving so fast. I was like, look at him.
That is vintage. Vintage Jason Kelce, man. Vintage Jason Kelce.
We got to get applause for that. Let me know if you can hear this.
No, I barely heard that too.
I got you.
You heard it? Did you hear it, Nichelle?
No, barely.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
Oh, I loved it. I was like, that's the hype video. I'm playing that every Eagles week. Let's get hype.
Well, it's on the board now, so we can pull it up at any time. All right, so let's get into the game a little bit. AJ Brown is out.
Well, I got that inactive, so I can do the inactives for you.
All right, go ahead, do that.
Let's have it.
Because it's crazy. All right, for the Atlanta Falcons, no surprises here. Defense end Brandon Dorless, offensive guard Javon Glenn, running back Jace McClellan, nose tackle Rook or Thathu. What the heck?
You should have sent them to me. When you
Yeah.
have
It's
trouble,
spelled Orhorhoro.
yeah,
Yeah,
I need to be able to read it. I can't have you spell it.
Yeah,
quarterback
that's not gonna work.
Anthony Hamilton Sr., offensive tackle Brandon Parker. For our Philadelphia Eagles, uh, our six-string cornerback Eli Ricks, six defensive tackle Brian Young, offensive lineman Trevor Keegan, offensive lineman Darren Kennard, third string quarterback Tanner McKee, which we all know the rules is if our second string quarterback gets injured after the first string quarterback, he will be active, so he is suited up for this game. And a surprise, healthy scratch linebacker Devin White. That's starting
Oh
active.
well.
Besides the one and only AJ Brown.
Yeah, that's the biggest one there. So AJ's not going to play tonight. Last time he didn't play a game was in the playoffs, and we got smashed. But I don't think that the way we were playing at the end of last year, he wouldn't have made a difference. He was there if he was there because he didn't make a difference in the 6 games, the 5 out of the 6 games we lost when he was there. So I don't think that's a great barometer. But I think that this game is still winnable even in his absence with all of the skill position players we have on offense. Like I said, Atlanta's coming in 0-1. They're a wounded animal, desperate, need to get that win. If I go over the numbers, a team that starts 0-2 at the beginning of the season, in the last 5 seasons, only 5% of them have made the playoffs. So you do not want to get off to an 0-2 start. So they're going to be desperate. Team that starts out 2-0, 79% of the time they go to the playoffs. A team that's 1-1, 45% of the time they go to the playoffs. But a team that starts off 0-2, this could be the determination of their season tonight. 41 teams have gone 0-2, and only 2 teams have made it to the playoffs in the last 5 years. So we're trying to make them the 42nd team. We're trying to make them the 42nd team that doesn't make it.
I truly hear you, and I truly understand that percentage and stuff of that nature, and they breaking everything down. But these statistics are meant to be broken, and not to say anything about the Atlanta Falcons. They're gonna go down 0-2 and be the best team in the NFL. No, I'm not saying anything about that. But they're coming against a hungry Philadelphia Eagles team that just came back from Brazil that want to put on in front of the Philly fans. They didn't get an opportunity to do that down in Brazil, and they want to prove the media wrong about they can't strive without AJ Brown. Devontae Smith is the most capable wide receiver we have on our staff. AJ Brown is a big play machine. Jahan Dotson is a no one over. He's a first round draft pick for a reason. These guys need to show up today.
What about
Dallas
Goddard?
Goddard needs to show up today, but not even them. This game is on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts today is when you have to actually step into that role as superstar quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles because they're going to be keen on 2 players, Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley. That's who they're keen on. They're not keen on Paris Campbell. They're not going to key on EJ Walker. And then they're not going to key on Dallas Goddard. They're going to key on 2 players, Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley. What can you do when they're double covered in between the hashes? Make it happen today.
Yeah, and I think that will happen. I think that will happen. Not only that, our defense, we'll see we'll get a better picture of what we have on that side of the ball on a field that is worthy to be played on. Let's put it that way. A field in good condition made for football people to play on. So we'll see if that makes a difference in their performance, especially the pass rush, which was, especially from the edges, was practically non-existent on Friday night. And I'm giving them a pass because of the sloppy field, and they're fast guys. They need their footing to be effective. So hopefully returning home to a field that is football ready. If that makes any sense, football ready, they'll show improvement in that area. And if they don't, I think Vic has enough savvy to dial up a pass rush from whatever he has at his disposal. So I feel good about this game. I feel really good. I don't want to get overconfident or anything like that. But I think that if we can put up 34 points on that poor ass field with 2 early turnovers, imagine what could happen if we correct that mistake and we're playing on a better field. Even without A.J. Brown, I think that this should be a W for our Eagles. What is your biggest concern, Nichelle?
My biggest concern is to not let Kirk Cousins get hot and keep that streak on Monday night for the defense. I know we made a couple of low-level roster moves today, and didn't we let go of one of our linebackers that was on the practice squad? Something happened today. But
All
either
right.
way, defense need to show up, and don't let Kirk Cousins come in here and put up a whole bunch of points and yards on us. That's my number one concern. My number two is I don't have much of a concern adjusting for the fact that AJ Brown is out. But I said this before, we need more. We need to see more of Dallas Goedert. I think he could really fill that gap. And since Jalen has already increased his percentage of, throwing those passes across the middle, feed him. Let Dallas eat. Let Dallas eat. I think we could have a really good showing to show how deep our offense is. And this is the test to that when one of your starters is out, to see that we still have weapons on weapons on weapons.
And I think that's really key. Let's think about this. Our first Super Bowl victory we just talked about. Nicky Foles is back in the house. What was that? What was the key to that season? The next man being able to come in. We had a deep roster then. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to see if we have as deep a roster now. We know we have the first team is really talented, but what makes up a team and what makes a team successful, because you're going to have injuries at some point in the season, is if your roster has the depth to carry the load when they're called upon. So we're going to get a test early in the season because AJ's out. We're going to see if we have the mettle to continue to be a top-notch team. And I think that we do. I foresee them double-teaming Devontae Smith. I foresee them keying on Saquon.
Why would you not double team him?
Yeah, you would have to.
That makes absolutely no sense not to double team the number one receiver now.
But we have Dotson. He's here. He's been here a couple of weeks now. He probably has some packages. He's going to be ready, I believe. And even with our third receiver, I think did they bring up Paris Campbell? Is he active?
So I wanted to talk about that just before my audio went out. Sorry about that.
All right, go ahead.
So there were some additions to the roster today. The Eagles actually released defensive end outside linebacker Patrick Johnson and made room on the roster. It made room on the roster for Nick Gates. He went to the practice squad and was elevated to the actual game day roster and took over the spot over Patrick Johnson. Paris Campbell was elevated to active roster, and E.J. Jenkins, I said Walker before. E.J. Jenkins, the tight end, is elevated onto the game day roster. So the thing about Paris Campbell, he has some familiarity with Jalen Hurts. During the offseason, they worked together. They worked out together. They got in good one-on-ones together. Even though he didn't make the initial 53, he was one of the stalwarts in the offseason program. So there are somewhat he's going to be familiar with. Johnny Wilson will play today. So you have a tall guy that's going to be out there. So you're going to have all our receivers except A.J. Brown. But you still have Saquon Barkley. You still got Will Shipley. You still got Kenny Gainwell we didn't even talk about. These tight ends, Grant C. I'm not going to say his last name. I'll say the name's terrible.
Calcaterra.
Calcaterra.
What she said.
Yeah.
You still have weapons. You still have these guys that can make things happen. And this offensive line has showed you last week that they can produce. They can be capable. They might be a little rusty and working together but now it's the second time that they're working together as a live, so they could be dynamic today. Look, we got another comment.
Yeah, Christopher Colley makes a great point. Cousins usually plays well against us, but I'm trusting Vic Fangio has something ready for him this time. It's a different season with a new storyline and new personnel and the master of the defense that we've been running the last few years. He's the architect of this defense.
Yeah, it is.
Our last couple coordinators have been picked because they run the Vic Fangio theory of defense, and now we have the orchestrator of that defense. So I think that he's going to do a good job. I feel that he's going to be ready for Cousins. Cousins like to get the ball out quick though, so I'm curious as to how he's going to dial up the pressure because Cousins does get the ball out quick. Yeah, what's that pass rush look like? And I think that secondary coverage is going to be key in that. If we can have tight coverage from the rip and make him hold the ball just a little bit longer, of course that's going to bode well for the pass rush. So
definitely
I think that we have the secondary to do that. What's up with our secondary? Who's active? Isaiah Rodgers, you said
everybody's active. Right? The only person that's
Isaiah's not active?
Isaiah Rodgers is active.
All right, that's good.
The only person not active in the secondary is Eli Ricks. And he was just a healthy scratch today.
And that's okay.
Because you got Cooper DeJong, you got
DeJong,
you got Slay. I hate to say this, Avante Maddox is going to probably play safety. Hopefully, you play inside. And the thing about it is, when you look at this defensive backfield, they can play one-on-one with the receivers they have. They have the size. They have the ability. GJ needs to be big today. Listen, I need these guys to be the ball hawks that they have been and continue to be, because this is a dynamic offense when the quarterback is hitting on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And we can't take anybody lightly. And I'm not being a worrywart. I'm just recapping what we've seen yesterday in the league. If anybody played parlays, your parlays was effed up yesterday.
Sounds insane.
I'm trying to be, I'm trying to keep the expletives to a low. But yeah, they effed up some parlays yesterday, man. The New Orleans blows out Dallas. The 49ers lose to the Vikings. Detroit lose. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Kansas City should have lost.
And Kansas City should have lost. Yes, and they did not. So. I still feel good about this game. I take Vegas in consideration. We're not broadcast analysts. I'm giving it to you straight from my opinion. I do take their that perspective into consideration, and I was a little nervous because I thought we would be heavy favorites. But with AJ out, I think that kind of balance will brought the point spread down a little bit more, even though we're still favorites. So maybe Vegas may not.
You saw what it went from, right?
It went from what to what? I think it was like 5 or so.
It went from 3. It jumped all the way to 6. At this present moment, I think we're at, and I'll tell you in 2 seconds, 4. 4. 4. Because of AJ Brown.
That's not bad.
But I mean, you went from 2.53 to now to 4. Like that's telling you something.
So 3 was nothing. I mean, when the home team gets 3, they get 3 anyway. So that's almost calling it even, right? So it went up to 6. So that gave us that said.
I'm sorry, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5.
Oh, I'm about to say it's 5. I thought I heard it's 5.
Yes, it's my 5.5. So so that speaks volumes. I know we're not the generated gamblers, but at the same time, you got to understand something that Vegas. If you pay attention to Vegas, they on point at least 80% of the time.
Yeah. So until the heavy money goes one way, and then they make sure that don't happen. I'm only kidding. Vegas.
This ain't the mob no more. This ain't the mob no more.
All right. That's what they tell me. But anyway, we're going to see. So with AJ out, it makes me with Vegas anyway. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable because maybe all the money is not going to the Eagles now. So Vegas may allow us allow us to get this game and don't pull out no funny stuff. I mean, and no one has seen the Sodfather in the Philadelphia area, right?
We do
No
not need to see him
Okay,
whatsoever.
I'm just saying.
He's
I'm just
retired,
making sure
okay?
that we have
He was
no
in Brazil, though.
Sodfather sightings in this area
But we
tonight
do-
because he
But we
screwed
do
us
need
2
in this
times
quarter.
already.
We do need in this
All right.
quarter, though.
Let's end this quarter if we can hear
And
it.
that's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, a little bit better. All right.
That was better.
So you are watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles, 1-0, seeking to go 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles. And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Nichelle, you want to do your disclaimer?
Please enjoy responsibly. You do not have to drink an alcoholic beverage. Choose your beverage of choice.
Right. So
We
with
need
that
to
being
cut
said,
that. We need to cut that.
Pat is
We should. We
partaking.
can cut it. We can record it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Pat is drinking the Wilford Reserve as he did last week. Nichelle is drinking.
I'm back to my wild feather bourbon lemonade, but you see how dark it is? A little too heavy on the bourbon, but I'm going to hang with it.
That's
All
what
right,
you
Wildfire
need. That's what you need.
bourbon, and I'm doing my apple juice. So don't mess up the mojo. If that's what you drank last week, drink the same damn thing. All right? So let's do it to our Philadelphia Eagles as we prepare for this dub tonight. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, no, we didn't hear that. All right. I don't know what you got going on different. Yeah.
Listening to the It's Quarter.
What you got? The speaker hooked up, Pat?
No.
Oh, all right. All right. Sometimes things are a little funny when you go live. Pat
You're
is
now
on. Yeah,
listening to the It's Quarter.
a little better. A little better. Pat, announce where you're coming live from. Pat is not home.
I'm not home.
He's on location.
I'm at location at Pulaski Hall. This is they actually want us to come down here for our games. They have a space spread out for us. They got a whole stage for us, really. They got a stage for us. I didn't hook the speaker
Was
up.
that
this
where we
time.
were for your birthday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So they want us on the stage here for our games. And I said, I'll come down here for one game because I'm not going there tomorrow. So if you hear people in the background, they're drinking. They've been drinking already.
I've been drinking.
I've
been drinking.
Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, let me go to some comments. We've been neglecting you guys.
I
I'm
haven't
sorry
been
about that.
neglecting the comments.
I know.
Y'all.
She's
I'm
been
on
putting
it.
them up, but I haven't been reading them. All right, so Miles agrees with me when he says the parlay was trash. His parlay was trash. Rachel says 3 points is home field advantage. And Christopher Burton is partaking in the Yingling. Chris, that's all you partaking in? Chris is a loyal, long-time fan. Never forget the time we brought special guest shot takers on the show, and Christopher was one of them, and he was smizashed. He wasn't just regularly smashed. He was smizashed. Well, you got to throw a izzes in there. You got to throw a izzes. That's how bad he was. So Chris is just
like,
doing
this
the
is what y'all
Yingling.
really do? This is how y'all really get down? Like,
And it seems easy when you watch it from home. It was a little different on the air, wasn't it, Chris? Richard Layton is really switching it up. He's doing rain and ultra light. What's rain anyway? Never heard of rain.
Vodka rain. It's rain. It's rain vodka.
Oh,
I got to
rain
test
vodka.
this out because I just switched something. Let me know if you can hear this.
All right. Oh, that's horrible.
Very muffled.
Yeah, that's horrible.
How about this one?
No, is everything plugged in tight?
DJ? You're the DJ.
All right, Stephanie, Miss Sandlin is doing the Hennessy on Pat's tab. She's watching from there. She like, wait a minute.
That's right. It's our tab. There is no.
Yes. Brother Wood, see you during the game. Yes, Brother Wood, see you during the game. Let's go, Eagles. That's right. Dion is doing the maker mark. All right, so rain, I'm finding rain is vodka. So, Richard, you have switched it up from the Tito's, but you are still doing the vodka and ultralight. So it's good to hear that you're still keeping it in the family here, so to speak. All right, so getting back, it's Nikki Foles' retirement night, special night. we can't lose on Nikki Foles' retirement night, right? That's not allowable,
No,
right?
it's not.
So
It's
we
definitely not
can't
allowed.
do that. How are we going to pay our respects to the man who brought us our only Super Bowl win and show up and come up short? Can't happen. Can't happen tonight.
Nope.
Can't happen tonight. And I'm going over the schedule, and this is why we play the games. This is why our preseason predictions are just that, preseason predictions. And, I was going to talk some smack, and I had to pump my brakes because I was like, you know what? We get this win tonight. We'd be 2-0. And prior to the season, I was thinking, all right, our next two games, we got that, New Orleans and Tampa Bay. But lo and behold, New Orleans is looking good. They blew
They're a
out two
problem.
people. Yeah.
They're a problem, and I
Yes.
said it in my women's football Facebook group. I said, because it's all from all teams. I said, say what you want, but you should be scouting if you in the NFC and looking at New Orleans because they could be a problem come playoffs. They're firing on all cylinders these first 2 weeks, and it's nothing to sleep on. If they sustain this and they're still playing like this in week 5, 6, 7, yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye out on New
And,
Orleans.
and that's the point I'm making. That's why tonight's game is that much more important. We can't go into their 1-1 and they're playing like they are playing. We need to come in with a 2-0 record because it's going to be a battle.
Yep.
And they're not the team that we thought at the beginning of the season. Put 44 up on Dallas's defense. The defense that totally dominated the week before looked like high schoolers yesterday against the New Orleans Saints. So that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. So we can't come in expecting a easy victory. It's going to be a battle. Besides that, listening to WIP today, I forget who it was that made the comment that it's a tough stadium to play in. There are a couple tough stadiums to play in New Orleans, and that dome is one of those places. Along with the Link. The Link is a tough place to play in too. But against opposing teams, that's a tough place to play. We don't usually have a lot of success, so we can ill afford to come in there 1-1. We need to be coming there hitting on all cylinders. So not only do we need the victory, but how this victory looks is going to be important too. If our offense is hitting on all cylinders, if that defense is playing at a consistent level, we need to see those things in this game tonight.
Absolutely. And I think this is another week for us to tighten up and get firing on all cylinders, particularly with the offense. We've all mentioned it. Jalen has to make better decisions, but I'm sure he'll have more of a comfort zone, being on his home field, not on not in some foreign country on a soccer field. He got to spend some quality time with the likes of Kelsey and meet Nick Foles for the first time. So, and they know how much the crowd's going to get up for this game. They've been tailgating all day long. So, I hope the coaches, I hope Kellen Moore has come ready, game planned, and I'm sure Vic Fangio has something up his sleeve for Kirk Cousins. But again, it's Monday night. Kurt doesn't always do well on Monday nights. He's usually choking, but I'm excited to see how they switch it up and how they adjust to AJ Brown not being here and to really, open up that playbook and open up the crates when it comes to this offense because it's deep. It's deep.
Yeah,
So I
it
hope they
is.
go digging. And Rachel mentioned they may run Philly. They've been talking about that for days now about what's
They
the
can't run
possibility
it.
of running
They
Philly.
can't run it.
How about a new version of it?
Yeah, that's what
I'm up
it will
for
have to be that.
I'm up for a new version of it. So
Yeah.
you could disguise it as a whole nother look. You see who did
Yeah.
who had the trick play yesterday? Was that the Chiefs?
Yeah, they
The
did.
big boy.
Well, they did do it following the Super Bowl. The
Mhm.
next year, the first game of the season was against Atlanta, and they ran another version of Philly. And
Right.
that's what will have to take place. It cannot be run the way we saw it in the legendary Super Bowl game. It cannot. Everybody knows that play now. So, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, we
You
have
know
to
what I mean?
disguise
You know
it.
that. It would have to be in a
Kellen
different version.
Yeah.
And which they did. They did it in a different version against Atlanta. I think they actually hiked it to the quarterback. He gave it to the running back, and then he went and gave it to the tight end, and the same play. But it wasn't, it wasn't Nicky Foles standing by right tackle. It was hiked right to the quarterback. So, yeah, if you can disguise it another way, I'm all for it. But it definitely cannot look like it looked in the Super Bowl because everybody, I think my daughter would recognize that if she saw Jalen Hurts run over to the,
yeah, yeah. It would have to be disguised where he ran out last minute and maybe to the other side.
So they did ran a different version of this.
I just said that in the Atlanta game the next year after the Super Bowl.
No, the version that they ran was the quarterback took the ball, they threw it behind the line of scrimmage. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix the audio. I'm sorry. All right. Listen, I don't deal with interfaces and all that.
I had to put that
put me
up.
in speakers. I can do all that. Okay. It might work.
Damn, you see that? He said, "Man, that audio sounds like last season offense." Oh, that sounds better.
That sounds perfect.
That sounds a lot better. Yeah.
Give me an applause. Give me an applause.
All right, give me some Brian Dawkins right now, sir. Oh yeah, that's good. That's better.
There
Give me
you
B
go.
Dawk. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Yes. You know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
You gotta get
time to get some. God dog it.
I love this game.
Yo,
man.
I can't believe Doc was as violent as he was, and he was still a Christian guy. Because I've never seen somebody as bad as him and not. Yeah, Reggie too. Dad, they was some violent dudes on the field, but
Reggie White was a
they wouldn't use an expletive.
They knew how to focus and channel, they were still good sports.
They were different people. They were different people on the field.
Right, and they were allowed to use their gifts to the fullest capacity because they were centered.
Yes, they
wow, that was incredible.
That was deep.
I used my gifts too, but I had to throw some expletives in there. That's how God made me. He made me like that.
Listen, you ever hear B Dog cuss?
No, he's never cussed. He said since college he has changed his life. He's changed his life on the field. That's where he got the mantra of being Wolverine, where he changed his personalities. And he also said, I will not cuss going forward because I can't be a man of God and be sinful on the field and cussing these guys out. I hit him hard enough. That's my cuss.
He didn't need to cuss, to be honest with you. You got hit from him. You was cussing.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about that New Orleans defense because their D-line I hear is stout. What do you have on that, Pat?
For our Philadelphia Eagles.
No, the New Orleans defensive line.
The New Orleans, we playing the Falcons.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Dante's messing.
So the Falcons, they do have some good guys on defense. As you know, their safeties is Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, the guy we were trying to get here in Philadelphia as a safety. They just paid AJ Terrell Jr. as one of the top corners in the league. He's a very dynamic and he's a good cover corner. Grady Jarrett is still a good, tremendous interior defensive lineman. He can get after the quarterback. If the offensive line is not blocking, it's because of Gary Jarrett. Matthew Judon, who the Eagles practiced against when he was with the Patriots, because remember after that game he got traded to the Falcons. It's a terror on the outside. He's a pass rush specialist. He gets after the quarterback. Not only is he a pass rush specialist, he's a 3-down defensive end outside linebacker. He can play the run just as well as he can play the pass. So their main linebacker, I think it was Nate Landman, got injured. They put him on IR. He was tearing everything up for that Atlanta Falcons. If you go back to their game previously, right, the Steelers didn't score a touchdown. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 7 field goals, 6 field goals.
6 field goals. 6 field goals.
I mean, 6 field goals won them game, but they didn't allow a touchdown in that game. So this speaks volumes of what kind of team this defense really is. With AJ being down, we need our guys to step up. We need our offensive line to dominate that line of scrimmage. I always talk about dominated line of scrimmage. We need to play on their side of the field, not on our side of the field. And this, you know what? Let's turn it loose today. I understand we don't have AJ Brown, but these guys know the philosophy. They know the offensive style. They know what he needs to do. Just get it done.
I agree. We talk about Kirk Cousins
Ooh.
and talk about getting some pressure on him. Well, we may have a little advantage because Kirk is coming off of that. What was that? Achilles
Achilles there,
injury.
yes.
Yeah, Achilles injury last year, and last week the Steelers kind of exposed that he has a lack of mobility even more. He wasn't a big runner before this injury, but he's definitely not moving around as well as before the injury now. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. And that is why I think he's getting the ball out even quicker. The Steelers did a heck of a job shutting them down. Now, they do have an awesome defense. They do have a top-level defense. Their pass rush, includes the Defensive Player of the Year and T.J. Watt. But surprisingly, they didn't blitz a lot, and they got pressure on Cousins. So hopefully the defensive line of the Eagles can take a page out of that book and get some pressure on Cousins, because they did not have a great offensive game last week. And part of that was because of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And part of that was probably, as with every other team in the league last week, just rust at the beginning of the year. But we've seen teams bounce back in week 2 that look horrible in week 1, and they may be looking to do that this week. So we have to make sure that we have the pedal to the metal and put the gas and turn up the heat in the kitchen for Cousins.
We do. Perfect example. Go look at the Jets. The Jets is a team that they rely on their defense, and they say Aaron Rodgers will come in and make this offense a dynamic offense. The Achilles injuries has put a damper on what that offense can be there in New York with Aaron Rodgers. Because if you watch him, he is really thrown off on one foot. And the same thing with Kirk Cousins. Regardless of how much you put into that recovery, Achilles injury is it's a terrible injury. It almost takes your whole foot out the way.
It
And
is.
it's
It
hard to
has
come back
ended
from.
people's career,
Correct, it
depending
has.
on how bad it is. So it is a very difficult injury to bounce back from for regular people, let alone an athlete who has
Regular
all
people.
of the
Regular folk.
doctors, and it's still very difficult for them to bounce
Yeah.
back from
Yeah.
the Achilles. You know what I mean? So
So we have to get after the quarterback. Bryce Huff. I hate to say this. Jalix Hunt is gonna play today. Brandon Graham, who's 36, going on 46.
you
Josh
ain't be
Sweat.
aging BG like that.
BG's been in this game since freaking Andy Reid. Andy Reid was his head coach.
He's still a baby
Yeah.
in my
goodness
mind.
gracious. We need Jordan Davis to be big today, because they're gonna run the ball with Bijan Robinson, and it's gonna be, last week the Packers is almost going to run for 200 yards against us. We need these guys to step up. Milton Williams, Jalen Carter. Listen, you're the number 1 target. They're going to double team you. What do you do? Because Aaron Donald, every week in and week out, what's the number 1 target? They didn't talk about anybody else on that defense but Aaron Donald. They said we got to get 3 people on him. And he still made plays being double and triple team. Jalen Carter, this is your opportunity to shed that mantra and be a beast for the Philadelphia Eagles. We need our defensive line to come alive today.
Absolutely. Our front 4 is where, in the trenches is where we're going to need them today, especially because Atlanta, because they don't have as many weapons as we do, they are going to anchor that offense in Bijan Robinson and the running game. So it's imperative that our front guys are in it, stuffing up that box. Jordan Davis too. I want to see a big game out of him.
Definitely.
And not letting them getting any runs. I don't want to see them be able to put up 100 yards rushing.
Can you blame them?
Woo.
Can you blame them? They have one of the best running backs in the game. Their passing attack is a little shaky because Cousins is not as mobile. And our defense gave up 140-something yards. That's a recipe to to expect to see a heavy dosage of running with Bijan Robinson tonight. So yeah, but Pat, you're asking, and I get it. Jalen Carter showed flashes of dominance early part of last year, but to ask him to be Aaron Donald, yeah, well, why don't we just ask everybody to just do like Aaron does? Like
I'm not asking Jordan Davis to be
just do
somebody
like
else.
what he
What would
does.
Aaron Donald do?
His
What would you-
ability,
I know.
if he works on his ability to come off the ball like he has last year, and he just have anything close to what he did, and he learns, he can be that dominant. He has that ability. We've seen it already. We've seen him shred two offensive linemen and get a sack. We've seen it. We've seen it with our own eyes.
That's a tall order, and I mean, you set the ceiling high and allow them to go shoot for it. But if any event, if he does demand those double teams, what really needs to happen is his line mates need to be taking advantage of one-on-one, coverage on the line. That's
Smith,
how
I don't
we
need you doing this no more. I need you to get after that doggone quarterback. All right.
That's what made our pass rush so effective in 2022 when we went to the Super Bowl. We had multiple people that required double teams along that line.
That's right.
And you couldn't double team everyone. So whoever got the one-on-one, they took advantage of that. So you know that Jalen Carter is going to get that double team. So his running mate beside him needs to be able to beat that one-on-one coverage. Jordan Davis, you've got to handle one guy. If Jalen Carter's getting a double team, you've got to be able to beat that one guy.
And rip and move. Hey, let's end this quarter. I'm ready to get hyped for this game because you can see now, right?
Yeah, it's about that. It's about that time.
You are looking at me like you're crazy. We don't hear you. I got the speaker on. My bad. I'm sorry.
All right, come on. We're going to end this quarter then.
And that's the end of the quarter.
How was that?
That was much better. That was much better. Now we having the show.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful. All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around that's by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. Nichelle is doing I always forget
Bourbon lemonade.
Bourbon lemonade, and I am doing the apple juice. All right, so I might have to take a break. All right, so anyway, and we're going to take this down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage.
Let's
show
go.
That
Let's
is by
go.
Eagles fans for Eagles fans.
No one lies. No one lies. No one lies. We don't care. No one cares. No one lies. We don't care. No one lies. No one lies. No one lies. We don't care. No one lies. We don't care. You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, third quarter.
How that sound?
Philadelphia. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds perfect.
Let's
All
go.
right, everybody. We
I'm
ready?
man. I'm ready.
Nikki Foles returns to the link tonight. Nikki Foles gave us so many memories. It seemed like Nick Foles could only play in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform.
Yeah.
He's left this team a few times and has never duplicated the success he's had when wearing the midnight green.
That's right.
And that makes him even more endeared to the fan base here because he's ours. He doesn't even work when he goes somewhere else. His magic doesn't even work when it goes to someone else. It only works for us.
That
He's
Philly
ours.
magic.
You know what I mean? 7 touchdowns in one game. He's tied. That's the league record for touchdowns in the game. He tied that in 2013, I believe. 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in that same year. And then he comes back and takes over for Carson Wentz that had a very outstanding year that year to take the team on home and bring home the hardware, the Super Bowl championship
That's right.
in 2017. So Nick Foles is a Philadelphian. His magic only works in Philadelphia, so it's only right that he retire as a Philadelphia Eagle, and he gets a chance to do that tonight. So this is a special night. We get to see our hero come back, and we get to reward him with coming back by having a rambunctious crowd out there tonight, and our Philadelphia Eagles take care of business and demolish, destroy. Any other D words I can use?
Dominate, because that's what he told Jalen to do.
Dominate this Atlanta Falcons team tonight in honor of our special guest, Nick Foles.
Kelsey's on in his Kelly Green warm-up suit. You say
Oh,
He
what?
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
That's what's up, man. Oh, you got Nick Foles coming back. Kelsey is in town covering the game. Oh, I know.
You can only go out there and perform. You can only out there and give everything you got. You can't just sit to the side and say, you know what, we're gonna give a half behind.
Hey,
no,
Sue.
you have to give everything. Hey, Sue, you gotta give.
I know what's coming next. She's gonna talk about the fantasy. I know what's coming. Shh, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Be quiet. Pat trying to look away. Pat trying to look away. All right. Hey, Sue, how you doing? Everybody fine? All right. Rachel says, no one likes us. We don't care. All right. Throw those birds up. All right. So what do you guys? Oh, green tea. Oh, you got the green tea shot? She got a green tea shot. I know that's a green tea shot. She's not talking about the Arizona green tea. That's a green tea shot. I know Sue. I know her oh too well. Don't do BG like that. All right, who do we need to see big games from today?
Can I say it?
Is that Jalen Brunson?
Where?
Or on the field? Yeah.
Oh my goodness. He better.
So yeah,
all right, you guys talk about that. I got to get my TV together. Go ahead.
We need one person to have the big game. One person only. A lot of people say Saquon.
Jalen.
Jalen. That's it. Jalen.
No, we need a lot of people to have.
We do, but it all starts with Jalen.
Yeah, it all starts with Jalen. But
if he doesn't,
we are playing Kirk Cousins, so our secondary does not get off the hook.
They do not get off the hook. Already tasked our defensive line to get after the quarterback, but Jalen Hurts. The game is on Jalen today. You listen to this offseason talking about we don't know what Jalen is. We don't know what this football team is. This team is talented, but they only go as far as Jalen Hurts can take them.
That's right.
True.
That's
100% true.
That's right.
So we need Jalen Hurts.
He only controls one side of the ball. He ain't a miracle worker now.
Now, let's go back. I had to do this. Let's go back to 2017. When Carson Wentz, before Nick Foles came in the game, Carson Wentz, that offense got ahead of all these teams. Same thing with our 2022 team. They got ahead. Right? So they forced the offense hand on the opposite team to do things they didn't want to do. And that's why we look so good, especially in 22, getting after the quarterback, right? We'll put up freaking 24, 20, 28 points in the first half. Don't score in the second half. Remember, I was upset about that? Don't score in the second half. Put up all these points in the first half.
I know. Remember this season where we was like, oh, yeah, let's just score everything in the first half and not do anything for the whole third and the bottom half of the fourth quarter.
We have to. Everything is revolving on Jalen Hurts today. Because that offense only goes as far as Jalen can throw, pretty much. Mm-hmm. Now, Saquon is going to do as much as he can do, and Saquon is one of the most dynamic, if not the most dynamic running back in the league, period. Right? they compare him to CMC. I think he's better than CMC.
Mhm. I'm excited to see the game open up a little bit more for Smitty. I think him and Jalen
I
might
hope
have
so.
a field day
I need to see.
tonight.
I need to see Jahan Dotson. I need to
Oh,
see
see, you
Jahan.
got your
I
own personal thing you
I
want to
do,
see.
I do. But
That's
at the
the
same
whole
time,
Penn State thing that you all on right
but
now.
at the same time, he's a first round draft pick, and he has the ability to be a top notch, third or second receiver
He
in his
does.
game. Period.
Well, he's third
All you
here.
gotta do is all you gotta do is put it forward. Also, all you gotta do is
Well,
put it
today he
forward.
gets to show off his number 2.
Hmm.
So all eyes on him. I'm be watching him close just for you,
We
Pat.
got about 15 more minutes.
Just
They
for you,
turn the
Pat. We
volume
got
up here.
14 minutes to be exact. And shout out to Jalen Brunson, even though you on the Knicks, but that's Temple love, that's Temple light, even though he went to Nova.
Yeah,
But
no, no, we
I
don't worry
went to
about
school
Temple.
with his pappy. So shout out to the
Evan.
Brunson, his pappy.
Oh my goodness
Our
gracious!
kids are all grown.
I did not, okay.
They're all grown.
But you know what? The one thing I do want to see today, besides Jalen Hurts, I want to see our pass rush coming alive.
Hmm.
Nolan Smith, we drafted you in the first round. We drafted him to be something on top of what we have. It was a luxury pick at the time. And right now, we haven't seen a special move from him. All we see is speed and try to do power and stuff of that nature. He hasn't done anything special, and he hasn't given hope to what he can do as a pass rusher. We need him to be dominant today.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right.
We need our whole defense to be dominant today, to be honest with you. We've made some moves, we made some changes. And Bryce Huff is playing today, right?
He will be there. He's not not there, but he will be there. And he listen, he needs to show up too. Dark Knight. So we
Bryce
talked
Huff
about two
needs to
players:
show up. Not
Jalen
just
Hurts,
show up to the game.
Jalen
He needs
Hurts,
to show
and
up on the
Nolan
field.
Smith. Well,
All
man, now
right,
that
so
I was talking about Bryce Huff.
now you're placing you
Hella
need to
late,
see
Jeremiah, but we'll let you pass.
so you need to see who would your players, Pat?
My
Jalen.
player is Jalen Hurts. Period.
All right, need to show up.
Well,
What
that
who
was
was your
period.
player?
Well, I said the defense also had to show up.
All right.
You
Who
know, the
specifically? Who anybody you
Well,
want
for
to
me,
single out? Who specific?
Bryce Huff
He's a
in our
Bryce Huff.
secondary.
Bryce
Oh
Huff.
yeah. I meant to put an APB out for him before the game. Damn.
But you know what? I
Oh,
went back and
man.
looked at the game. Yo, every time he pass rush, he fell. Every time he
Yeah,
pass
so yeah.
rush, he
All right.
fell.
So then, okay.
All right, so
No
we should
excuse
see
today.
him then.
So no excuse.
All right, no excuse.
No excuse.
All right, my
today.
guy is going to be I'm gonna pick Devontae, man.
Yeah.
Devontae could be
Good
double,
one.
but he's going
He's
to win
gonna
some.
Good one.
He's going to win some routes.
Man,
He's
I
definitely
put nothing past this guy, man. When we didn't have AJ in that playoff
Heisman
game,
Trophy
how
winner,
did he
yep.
respond? 8 receptions, 148 yards.
Mhm.
Listen,
That's
the
how he
Sprint
responded.
Reaper is lighting him up
So,
tonight.
yeah,
Lighting
we're
him up.
still going to need that. Number one receivers get that type of treatment.
They do.
Mhm.
And we say he's a number one receiver, just happens to be wide receiver 2 for us. So I expect and I expect big things because that's just how he goes about his job. He goes about it as a professional, one of the best route runners in the league, and we have the benefit of having his wide receiver 2. But tonight he's going to be in his role as wide receiver 1, and we've seen him in that role also before AJ got here. So he can
Whoa.
do it.
He is.
And
He is a. On most teams, he is a number one receiver.
Right. Exactly. So I'm looking for Slim Reaper, man. And I think the obvious one, everybody probably would say Barkley's going to have to play a big role tonight.
I didn't even say Barkley.
We
I
didn't
didn't
even
say
say
Barkley.
Nobody said Barkley.
I went straight to Jalen because it really all lies on his ability to be an elite quarterback in this league. What can you do when your number one target is not there? What can you do when the spotlight is not on?
But
AJ.
is it you think well, he may be the quote unquote number one, but I think from a game by game basis, I think it kind of gravitates to who's actually kind of
does.
number one
It
target,
does.
depending on what's
No,
going
no,
on.
not with Jalen. Jalen is locked on AJ, and And I think this is a good
He's
thing.
a
I'm gonna
safe
say this.
option, but I think the long balls. I think he looks for Devontae on his long balls more than he
I
looks
think this is
for
going to be a good thing
AJ
for his
Brown.
development
He looks
as
for
a.
AJ across the middle and up the side, but them straight go routes.
Mhm.
That's
I,
Slim Reaper's lane right
I
there.
really think this is going to be a good thing for Jalen, because now you don't look for your friend, you look
Oh
for your other
yeah,
friend, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and they're all
And
yeah.
now
boys.
you have to, once you rely on these other guys to be what they are, because I'm pretty sure Paris Campbell is about to be brought onto the active roster. Don't quote me. He may be brought on the active roster in the next week. You're going to be looking for Jahan, Paris, Britton Covey is going to get some time in there. Johnny Wilson, he's going to get some time in there in
Yeah.
the go area. You
Little
know,
Britton Covey, I love him.
yeah. Let's go, man. I'm ready to end this quarter and start this fourth quarter. The game is listen.
I'm
I'm
just
getting
It's
those
upon
excited
us.
to see
chills.
everybody on the
I'm
field.
getting these
Chelsea's
chills like I'm about to
here.
play the game myself.
Foles
And
is
let the
here.
Cal Turf fans be on alert out here. Tune in. And
Sorry, Doc. Sorry. Every time you say it, I gotta say it. I gotta play it.
Couldn't help
yeah,
it.
Pat,
Couldn't help it.
I know. All right, be on alert, Dallas Turf fans. Please watch this game so you can see
You
how a
know they
real
watching
team
with bated
is
breath.
supposed to play. So you can see a real team, the class of the NFC East, really, compete. This is how you play the next week after you win, not lay down like you guys did yesterday. Oh my God, that was so enjoyable.
We're not
So
even worried about
enjoyable to
that.
see
What?
that.
And I'm not making excuses for the Cowbums. I don't think they laid down, but nothing went their way.
No.
Nothing. Everything they tried failed. Until you do right by me, everything you do is going to fail. In a whole color purple moment.
Yeah. All right, in this quarter, so we can have a short fourth quarter.
the end of the quarter.
All right, you're watching Eagles Talk, man. Getting ready for this game. Philadelphia Eagles take on the Atlanta Falcons. And we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Pat is doing the Woodford Reserve. Nichelle is doing the spiked lemonade. Really spiked hard. And I'm doing the apple juice. You guys let me know what you're doing out there, and let's go. We only got a couple minutes before kickoff. And don't forget to watch the game with me. Dark Knight, I'll be doing play-by-play, reacting in my only way I can react when I see some bullshit on the screen. But we'll have a good time. But anyway, let's raise our glasses to our Philadelphia Eagles. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
And you'll be happy to know I'm not ahead tonight. So you won't be. I won't be spoiling it for you guys. I'll be watching it on a stream instead of over the air where I'm usually ahead of everyone.
Yeah. Clarify for
maybe-
the people you're just giving play by play and that you're not live streaming the game to them because of copyright issues. He can't do that, y'all. But
Right,
he
we
can
can't
talk
do
about
that.
the game live.
Yeah, I'll be talking about the game. I'll be watching it on my TV, but I won't be streaming it. You'll watch it on yours. I'll watch it on mine, and we'll watch it together. So, yeah, join us for that. So let's go. We getting ready to get it in. Let's go
I'm
over
ready to
the
go,
predictions.
Man. I'm ready to go. Listen, I guess I gotta go first, right? Since I'm talking. So
Yes.
And you've been drinking. You've
I've
been
been drinking.
Oh, somebody just said thanks for another shot, Pat. You got another shot on tap. Go ahead. Put it. Round on Pat. So.
Anyway,
Pat's buying shots for all of y'all.
I got a bottle right here. She need the bottle. Come get the bottle. No seriousness though. I'm gonna say the same thing that I'm saying every week. If we dominate the line of scrimmage, if we're able
What's
to,
up, Richie? I'm sorry.
if we're able, oh girl, if we're able to dominate the line of scrimmage, and we should be able to dominate the line of scrimmage against these guys, right? Atlanta is no joke. Their defense is fast. They move. They get to the ball. 4 yards to carry, 5 yards to carry. Dominant. No Jalen Hurts trying to be a hero. Be effective and efficient within the offense. I don't want you to be a game manager. I want you to be a field general. Be a general of the offense. All right? Take command of what is given to you. and dominate this game on the offensive side of the ball with the offensive line being ready. Our defense today is the day you need to step up. Oren Burks shows you what he can do at linebacker. N'Kobe Dean, that ball hits your hands and you don't catch it again, sit your ass on the sideline. That goes to any other defensive player out there, including our first-round draft pick, Q and Darius Slay. Make the plays that's given to you. They're going to give you plays. Take advantage. When you take advantage, this game should not even be that close.
That's
All
right.
right? I have us, Philadelphia Eagles, scoring 38, and the Atlanta Falcons scoring 14.
That's a sound win right there. All right, how about you, Nichelle?
Well, I think my keys to the game is not just Jalen, but the adjustments that our OC and DC can make quarter to quarter, not at the half, quarter to quarter. Specifically spreading that ball around and making sure our run game is consistent with Saquon, like we had before on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm not gonna let Jurgens off the hook. He has to get his jitters out. He has to get in a rhythm because no matter what Jalen does, he can't control how that man snaps the ball.
Correct.
And if he's not comfortable, if he's not consistent, that throws off the whole play. So all eyes on Cam Jurgens from an O-line standpoint. On the defensive side of the ball, I need my front guys to stuff up them holes. Period. And we need to get pause on Kirk Cousins. Pause on Kirk Cousins, stuff the holes. We win 38-23.
And on the stuff the holes part, pause. Okay, anyway, all right, so all right. No, but everybody, look, it's quite obvious that we need to see improvement by Jalen Hurts this week after his performance last week. We put up 34 points with that poor performance. Just imagine, not poor, but those 2 turnovers. Imagine how much more effective and efficient this offense can be if he plays a turnover-free game. That's we all know that. We all need to see that improvement. We know we need to see that. I'm looking at the score and the predictions here. 35-17, someone right there. 38-17, says James. Richard says 34-10. What that tells me is everybody is looking for the same thing I'm looking for, our defense to step up. Those scores reflect to me that our defense is going to come and they're going to show up. And the jury is still out for me because we only had a 1-game sample so far to see what they can do. They did an admirable job. It was a good Green Bay team. This team, let's see if they can do even better. Let's see that. Let me see another step in the direction of improvement by this defense. And if they could give us a score such as 17 or 10, those are Jim Johnson's numbers right there, right? He said, he tried to hold every team 17 points and below. So if he could do that,
look at that one below that one.
Yeah, I know. If this defense could do that, I think we'll be in a good space going into New Orleans next week. So I'm not worried about the offense. Just clean it up, improvement. I think we're going to put up the points. I'm really concerned about the defense, and I think that we can have a good day against Kirk Cousins. He's not great on Monday night. We all know that. And he's not as mobile as he used to be. So this is a perfect situation for Vic to dial up some pressure and us to put the hammer down. So I got us Birds winning tonight with us with more points than them. All right, guys, check me out. I'm going to be on play-by-play as soon as we go off the air. Follow me or come right back here on Eagles Talk on YouTube, IG, or Facebook, any way you want to watch. And let's watch the game together and get your game day menu together because we got to talk about what we're going to eat at halftime. All right, we'll see you guys after the game, and we'll talk about it.
Let's go.
We're out. Peace.